Today is a brief update on how I've got on with the new Steed and any sort of quirks and niggles I've had with either the M2S Avinox system or the bike itself. So firstly, I've now had this bike a few months and I've done a mixture of trail rides on it and out and about, plus I spent a week in Morzine doing various different grades and mostly gravity riding, which is particularly hard on any bike. So it is interesting to see how it's held up over that sort of riding. First issue I've come across was the dropper post. After one run, I discovered that it was very stiff and difficult to operate. After a quick poke around, I realised that the issue was the cable routing was a little bit subpar and it was far too long. Tried to shorten it without getting too in depth in it and it didn't work. One does need to drop the motor to be able to pull through the excess slack and shorten the cable. Since I've done this though, it has been considerably smoother. The second problem I have is that after a couple of days in the Alps, it developed quite a loud rattle. Now the rattle does sound very much like it's a bunch of cables rattling in a metal tube. Expect that it is some of the routed cables internally that have come loose from whatever they're mounted to rattling. Now this could well be because I took the motor out and didn't align things correctly. Hopefully I will just drop the motor out again shortly, have a route around and be able to silence them fairly straightforward. Now third and finally, the other problem I've had is I managed to smash a rim. Now I will put this down to mostly piloting error. I was heading down, I believe the Vink line, possibly, back in Morzine. Gap, gully, I need to jump. Didn't see it till last minute, didn't successfully jump it and belted the wheel hard landing on the edge, far edge of a gully. Potentially that could have been the suspension, which I don't think is very supportive. I do seem to flush through a travel, so I do still need to tweak that more better to suit. It could also have been that it was just a hard landing and it could have happened to any rim, or partly the rim itself is not really up to a job for an enduro bike, in my opinion, as that was the second dent I'd put in it in almost as many days in the Alps. If these are designed as big enduro bikes on heavy e-bikes, I think they need to put stronger rims on them if they expect people to ride them as they're designed. But not the end of the world. Got a new rim replaced. I'm now running a DT Swiss heavier spec rim, so hopefully that should solve any issues in that department. As far as the Avinox system has gone on this bike, the M2S has performed faultlessly and has been a pleasure and power beast to ride. So very happy with that. I think I managed 3 or 4 days in the Alps before I need to charge it up, and that got to about 30%. Admittedly, a large percentage of that is uplift, so you're not using it a lot, but it meant there was no worry. I could just go out for days and days and not have to worry about charging it up. Other than that, it's had some new grips because I preference those grips over the existing ones, and will update you accordingly if the down tube issue is anything more sinister. Please like and subscribe for more updates and let me know if there's anything else you would like to hear or know about my bike.